after months of digging in on wage demands, Sibanye-Stillwater workers may be going back to work. They've accepted an increase of up to 1,000 rand. Thousands of mine workers at Sibanye's Carltonville gold mining operations have been on strike since April. Let's get the latest now from reporter Govan Whittles. Govan, good morning. The strike is still on, but there are developments. Talk to us about the status of these negotiations.
So the wage offer by Sibanye-Stillwater has been accepted by the gold miners, but right now the NUM and AMCU and Sibanye and the CCMA are busy discussing and negotiating a 3,000 rand hardship allowance, which the union wants to be paid to all employees that were on strike regardless of their category of placement at Sibanye. That's one of the sticking points here. Sibanye has offered to pay that to the lowest category of workers, the two lowest categories of workers. Those would be underground workers and surface workers, but it wants artisans and managers to be exempt from receiving this hardship allowance. It's a sticking point at the moment, but what's interesting here is that AMCU and the NUM say that they've secured or they've achieved too much now to allow this one point to collapse the talk. So for all intents and purposes, they believe that the strike is coming to an end. It's just a matter of finalizing these last few outstanding issues. And those negotiations are underway at the Birchwood Hotel in Ekurhuleni. We're expecting them to wrap up yesterday, but it looks like they'll continue for the rest of the week. And then we're expecting an official signing ceremony at the weekend or perhaps at the beginning of next week.
Do you know, though, how hard it's been for all of them collectively? Because it is, you may say it's a sticky point, but it's one that does need to be addressed, that yes, the lowest workers would have had hardships, but so would those that have been earning the most as well.
Well, that's the argument put forward by the NUM. It's on that basis that it believes Sibanye can afford to pay that hardship allowance and no one should be exempt from that. So far, we know that there is resistance from Sibanye-Stillwater on this issue. That's just the nature of negotiations. That's why this matter is being mediated by the CCMA, and also why the NUM and AMCU say that they're willing to concede on this matter, perhaps lower the amount so that all of the striking workers can receive it. But what they're not willing to do is go back on strike and have the wage offer that was already accepted through a mandate of mass meetings by workers in Carltonville, where those operations are, be collapsed because of something like this. So it looks like today they'll work around what kind of figure would be acceptable as a hardship allowance. It looks like something that the unions are intent on securing for the workers that were on strike, considering the toll it's taken on them and their families. But it does look like they're not willing to allow this issue to unsettle the talks.
All right, Govan, we'll get the latest a bit later on in the day insofar as that outcome is concerned. That's reporter Govan Whittles just giving us the latest on that strike. And that's where